All right, we got a really special episode that we just shot. Really excited about this one, something a little bit different. It was just me and Brett Tuttle, our fearless producer, who is like the Wizard of Oz, usually behind the screen. He was here, and we just kind of talked about, what it was like starting the podcast, the process we went through, told some funny stories, and we kind of got off on tangents. We admittedly were drinking bourbon throughout it, but it was a great time. It was awesome. We both really enjoyed it. A little bit longer of an episode, but I think you guys will like it. Just wanted to test something different. You get to hear from Brett, his background, his perspective. We just talked about a lot of different things, kind of no real agenda, but hope you enjoy it. And look, again, as always, this episode is brought to you by Richmond Vona, personal injury attorneys. I know I always say it, but again, it's a huge shout out and a thank you to the firm for allowing us to do this. We have so much fun, and we just hope that you enjoy this episode. So enjoy. Welcome to the Thunderdome. He steps out from behind the curtain. You're like the Wizard of Oz.
Yep. It has been that for, I looked today, April 17th was the first day that we did a test. Really? In the Williamsville office on our remote recording session.
No kidding. When was our... Oh, yeah, because we started recording these before we launched them and we went live. When did we go live? In June?
In June, I think, yeah. So we did Johnny the Barber was our first one. He was not the first episode.
But he was the first one we filmed.
First one we filmed.
Yeah.
And then Chef and Sarah Heidinger and...
We just started rolling.
Yeah. So this will be on New Year's Eve. This is our New Year's Eve episode.
Well,
so.
Hey, man. Well, I want a big thank you to you.
Thanks.
People don't see you behind the scenes. I've started to hear you a little bit here and there when you chime in. Because I told them, I'm like, man, if I'm missing a question, please ask it. Like, for real. But I mean, none of this gets done without you.
Thank you.
And it's been a lot of fun.
Thank you.
And for those who don't know Brett, this is Brett.
How's it going? Hello, everybody. Hello.
So we figured, I think we both agreed, what a fitting way to end the year by just like sitting down and just talking about whatever we want to. I mean, obviously we're going to talk about the podcast and what we've learned and all that kind of stuff, but we also agreed that we were going to drink during it.
Thank God.
Yeah.
Let's pour
this is a bottle that you got me when we opened up the studio, and you got me a really nice card, which I appreciate. And I purposely didn't open the card or didn't open this until now.
Excellent.
So we'll see what happens here. This is the first time doing this, but cheers, man.
Cheers. All right.
So not to like flip this on you and put you in the hot seat, but I actually think it would be interesting for you to tell your backstory.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
This was not like this. I don't have like a grand plan to flip this on you.
Yeah.
But I think it'd be interesting for people to hear it because I talk about you to a lot of other people, but you have a really interesting story about like your background, how you ended up in Buffalo, how you ended up here, that kind of thing.
Yeah. I'll try and give you the abridged version.
Okay.
Because it meanders a bit.
Yeah.
But started out doing TV commercials in Arizona and did that for about 10 years. And that was in the 2000s. I'll date myself here a little bit, but and kind of topped out. I was doing lottery commercials, and my first job in TV was getting coffee for people on set.
Yeah.
So I went through and I kind of learned everybody's job, not to the extent that they could do their jobs, but how to do them, and that allowed me to understand how to produce a show from the top down. And so I did that. A good friend of mine started a production company in Arizona, and he said, hey, will you come out and help me? And it was just getting coffee. It was a big lottery commercial, and I learned how to do that, and thank goodness for him, he gave me my first shot.
Yeah.
And I did that for, like I said, 10 years, and then I kind of topped out. And I was like, I want to do television. I want to do documentaries. I was really interested. I worked on a couple of documentaries, and it was either New York or LA. Mm-hmm. And I had just met my now wife a few months before at a Dave Matthews concert at Wrigley Field. And I came to visit her in New York, and I kind of looked around. I'm like, this is it.
Yeah.
I want to come to New York. I want to learn how to do television. And I thought, I've been doing commercials for a long time. This will be no problem. I moved to New York, and they were like, no. You have no TV on your resume, right back down to the bottom. So same thing. Hustled, figured it out. My first show was a catch and cook fishing show called
awesome.
Hook, Line, and Dinner, which was great. A friend of mine actually worked at ESPN at the time, and they were doing that show, and he threw that to me, and he's like, so you're the post supervisor, figure it out. I had no idea what I was doing. And so did that for 11, 12 years and got up to the point where I was producer, associate producer, et cetera, and then moved my way up to line producer and supervising producer. So I produced series for Netflix, NBC, Paramount Plus, Apple Plus. I never got the HBO, which was my El Wapo, but maybe there's still time. Yeah, not yet. Exactly.
I'll do something crazy.
right. Lawyer gets HBO special.
But not for a good reason.
It's all bad. It's all bad. So, and in the interim, my wife and I were living together. We lived in New York City for 10 years. We loved it. And COVID hit. And it was kind of crazy. She was on the podcast, and she's immunocompromised. She's got cancer, and we were in a 60-story building, and we kind of looked at each other and waiting for an elevator for a half an hour because only 2 people could ride in the elevator at a time. And I'm like, baby, we can't do this. We got to go. So we went on a Rumspringer. We went to Colorado. We lived in Park City for several months, just checking it out during COVID, see what it was like. And one day she looked at me and she's like, this isn't home. Where are we? You know, New York was home. Yeah. And she's from Buffalo. And every time I came to Buffalo, I came to visit. I was like, I love this place. You got good people, great schools, good neighborhoods, houses you can afford, all the things. And the summers are awesome. Nobody knows about it. And she asked me that question and I just snapped right up. I'm like, Buffalo. And her head spun because she looked at this place in the rearview mirror.
Is this a trick?
You know, she was like, she was headed out to New York City to go do her New York City thing when she graduated from college and hadn't thought about Buffalo in that way. And I'm like, this is a good place. I know it's home, but this is a good place. Yeah. And so we decided to come back. We came back in 21 and I got to produce a documentary for 43 North, which was super cool. They were coming back out of COVID and wanted a story to tell the competition and the city. And we got the chance to do that. And so my first month here, I was just deeply immersed in everything Buffalo, which was like drinking from a fire hose, but a great way to learn about the city that I thought was awesome already. Yep. And so we've been here 3 years now. Yeah, 4 years. And
it's crazy. It goes by fast.
It does. It's shockingly.
I'll say too, like we talk about this all the time. A lot of, especially younger people, and especially if they're from here, are really apprehensive or almost resistant to a pretty hardcore degree about coming back. I think, in my experience, it was like when I did this, and I'm not originally from Buffalo, I'm from Rochester, close enough. But when I came back from New York City, when I told people I was coming here, I didn't tell them, like, hey, I'm going to work for another law firm, but my big plan is to get my feet wet and then start my own firm. I just like, why throw that into the universe? Let me just kind of keep that to myself. But it was crazy because the reaction I got was not like, hey, congratulations. It sounds like you've thought this through and this is a great move for you. It was more like, you failed out or you flamed out of New York City.
I hate that.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's so wrong. Like it's so wrong on so many levels. Because dude, you probably agree. Like, there's polar opposites in New York. Yeah. Like a lot of people, probably most people, probably shouldn't be living there. like for a lot of reasons, right?
Yeah.
And everyone kind of can guess on what those are. I mean, just even from an economic standpoint, it's crazy. Yeah. But I get why people hang on. But Buffalo is such an amazing place, and especially from you, you're not from Western New York. The fact that you're like, I'm coming back here is it's cool. Like you've lived all over the place too.
Yeah,
you skipped a lot of places in between there and that story, which I understand why. But yeah, you've lived all over, so you have a pretty good, I would call it barometer.
I did. I played kind of just check out every city until I moved to Buffalo. But born in Hawaii. Raised there, then high school in Reno, but then lived in San Francisco, lived in LA, lived in Vegas, a lot of the West Coast, lived in San Diego, and then moved to New York and fell in love with it. But every time I came here to visit this place, it was like, damn, these people are great. That's that is the crust. That is the bottom floor, is everybody here is really, really great.
Yeah. And if you have not been, I'll say, fortunate enough or just for whatever reason you haven't lived other places, especially big cities, I get why people take the people for granted.
Yeah.
Like, but once you're thrust into another environment with people who really don't give a shit about each other, it's the feeling is palpable when you come back.
And New York is amazing crazy. I love New York.
I love it.
The energy, the people, the way you learn to walk the sidewalks, you know who the tourists are, who the locals are. Like, it is everything crazy in the best way that a New York City could be. But then, I think, and I got the same reaction. You're going to Buffalo? Kind of like, screw you.
You
don't know. And I kind of like that. I don't like the secret about what a great place it is, but I like the secret about don't come here and mess it up.
For sure.
Kind of thing.
Yeah, because like in New York, like New Yorkers, especially like people, I mean, even just transplants, like people like us who like weren't born and raised in New York City, because let's be real, the vast majority of people who live in New York City were not born and raised in New York City. No. But like the New Yorkers wear that with like a badge of honor.
Yeah.
I mean, it's different than Buffalo, because I think Buffalonians wear it as a badge of honor.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like the similar thing.
Yeah.
Like those things you're talking about, but like, I'm not a tourist and everyone knows it because I know how to walk on the sidewalk. It's true. Like in your head, you're thinking it.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's, I actually, not to digress too much, but I wanted to get my 10-year chip for New York, and I just barely missed it.
I just missed mine too. Barely.
Months. And I was like, we could hang out a little bit longer during COVID, but it would have been
It's like
crazy,
the people that like will literally, so when they ran out of 212 area code phone numbers, they moved to, what was the next one? They moved
917.
917.
Yeah.
But like people will pay almost like you're a business paying for a vanity number for a 212 area code.
Yeah. Yeah. My wife won't give up her 917.
Yeah. No, people are like, because now they moved on to something else. Yeah. So true. But like, I remember so obviously I met you through Alyssa when we were working here together, and we started kicking this idea around for the podcast. And I don't expect anybody to ever know or probably even care about like how much time and effort and thought went into just getting this thing up and running, especially on your end. I was more so like in my head conceptualizing about what we wanted to be, bouncing ideas off of you. And I remember I appreciated it because when we were talking about the concept for the podcast, we were like, okay, like we both agreed on like everything. Like we want to showcase Buffalo, Western New York. Maybe we're going to have some people who aren't from here and there who are just interesting to listen to, of course. But we both believe in the people here. We believe that they don't get enough credit. There's amazing stories to tell. And we were both like, especially me, I don't want this to be anything about the law. Who wants to listen to that? And so it's been cool because outside of our little like realm, which is like me and you, people like in the national space who I know through work were like, how are you not doing a legal podcast? And it was like, I don't know, man. Like I just like talking to interesting people. And I think that, and we both agree that we both learned so much from all different types of people. And probably more so from people who aren't doing whatever it is that we're doing.
That was literally the best part about my job in television.
Right.
Was making shows about, I would talk to the janitor. If he was the best janitor in the world, I wanted to hear how he did what he did. And that's that curiosity, the same, it's what drives you to be a good interviewer and a good host is you have to be curious about people and what they do. And I think, there are we just scratched the surface.
Oh yeah. We're just getting started. This is like nothing.
I think there are so many great stories and, great people. And then, awesome stories that go along with them.
Yeah, for sure. I agree. Like I admittedly, I don't really listen to the podcast because I don't like listening to my own voice.
Fair. I have to watch this now.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, right. And then I'll come back sometimes. Like my wife is like listening to them. I'm like, oh my God, turn that off. Right. Or she'll be like watching a social media clip. I'm like, please, seriously, like don't do that around me. Like I don't want to hear it. Sometimes you need to though. But I remember when we first started, it was like, I just felt so robotic. Like doing it. Like so Q&A robotic, which I never wanted to be. And I was like very self-conscious about it.
But it was your first rodeo.
You're getting going at it, right?
And it was Zoom.
Zoom is like, being here in person is like a million times better.
And that's kudos to you on the foresight to build out a studio like this.
Well, you built it.
It's nothing structural, thankfully.
Yeah.
But I think that's what the show, the podcast is getting better, because you're in your element when you're across the table from somebody.
For sure.
And that connection and that ability to understand those people is the part that makes it great.
And that's the fun part.
Yeah.
Like it's I think too, when you're here in person, it's easier to disarm somebody and make them feel comfortable. Mm-hmm. That's something that I definitely did not, like, foolishly, didn't even think about. Is that, and people would admit it, right? Like, after the podcast was over, they'd be like, oh, that was fun. Thank you. I was admittedly quite nervous or apprehensive to do this. And I never really thought about that, because I was more so just like focused on, this sounds probably bad, but like focused on myself in the sense of like, I need to make sure I'm giving them a good experience and that they're feeling comfortable, and not thinking, what are they thinking about walking into this? You know what I mean?
Yeah. And there has never been a host of anything asking people questions who should not be thinking that way.
Yeah.
Like, first off, I'm trying to make my guests experience pleasurable, and then you start, okay, I'm comfortable now. I can get out of my own head and get into theirs and figure out what's going on.
Well, what's crazy too is, so sometimes it's like, sometimes when you cross over into like a new adventure, right? And I like to make sure that every year, I mean, more than once, but every year I can look back and say, I did something totally different and new that maybe I never thought I would do, or I always wanted to try. I like to do more than one a year, but like this is the biggest thing that stands out in my mind about 2025. But it's interesting because I should have been smart enough to carry over principles or lessons in other areas of either business or life and apply it to the podcast. And like, what I mean is, like, I give an example. So sometimes people will say to me, like, man, like, you're so comfortable speaking in in front of really large groups of people. And I'm like, all right, well, first off, let's take a step back. I remember in college, like, having to give like a presentation to 30 people and being extremely nervous, like to the point of like your hands shaking and you're like blacking out. Like, okay. I remember being in moot court in law school and going up there, and afterwards people would be like, oh, that was good. Or, hey, you could have done better on this. And being like, I don't remember anything. Well, like, you tell me, right?
You're like Will Ferrell, old school. Yeah,
like, I blacked out. You could tell me that I just went up and mother effed every one of the mock judges, and I'd be like, okay, I'm just going to take your word for it because I don't remember anything. But it's like, what I realized over time and how I explain it to people now when they're like, you seem very comfortable in front of large groups of people. I'm like, it's because I realized that, everyone in the crowd is sitting there thinking, I would be nervous to be up there, or, man, that's my biggest fear, or whatever.
Yeah.
And no one is sitting there and judging you if you mispronounce a word, you don't speak perfectly. As long as you are just being yourself, being authentic, like we talk about all the time. And especially if you're talking about something that you believe in or that you're passionate about. And then lastly, as long as you're not going on too long, that's the key. Everyone's just like, that was great. And it just becomes, it's like anything, you be repetition, you just feel better about it. And like that, I wish I would have reminded myself of that when we started this, because I used to sit here and people can't really see, especially because it was all virtual. And you would see it. I have all these questions. And I have the ones highlighted. And look, sometimes it helped because you get maybe a guest who was particularly nervous and you had to really, really hold their hand through the conversation, which is fine. But now I don't have anything. Like
I've got notes.
And I've learned, like, it's kind of weird, and I know it probably sounds a little scary. It's almost better to just, okay, who am I talking to this week? Oh, wow, that's an interesting person. Let me do a little research. Oh, wow, I didn't know this, that. Like, and if you're genuinely curious and genuinely interested in somebody, you're just going to remember the big things. You don't remember all the little things, but then you can just sit down and have a conversation like you're having a beer or a glass of bourbon.
And that's, I knew when I saw you kind of on that first one, I was like, okay, you were in your head.
Yeah.
But as you went on and you started to get out, and the inquisitive, but both that and linear thinking lawyer would come out and be like, all right, I'm going to get somewhere. And I've got to have this conversation. And giving the best part I know about being a good host and good at speaking in front of, I think it's harder to talk one-on-one.
Because you're talking to somebody back and forth. You're up on stage, typically in a presentation, you're talking at people.
Yeah.
Like there might be a Q&A at the end, but it's like they're just going to let you go. And then it's that's it. Yeah, you're right.
And it used to happen when we were on interviews. You know, I would be behind the camera. I forget what all this feels like to somebody with the lenses looking at you and stuff. And, you know, we're behind the camera. Like, this guy's going Walt Disney on me. He's not, you know, he's just frozen. Like, just what do we? And so, but you forget what that's like. And a lot of it was starting to get them comfortable by just having those kind of conversations. Yeah. Hey, tell me about what you do. Yeah. And I would just be like, roll. Yeah. And, you know, and I think that skill set, and also finding a place where you can give your guest a chance to have an answer, a chance to shine. Yeah. You know, that's in television interviews, that's what it's all about. I'm asking you one question. I expect you to extrapolate. Yeah. You know?
Yeah. I think like what I try to do now, and I'm still like, obviously like what a work in progress, it always will be, is trying to make sure, because like the people we have on are all great people in different ways, and there's common themes. I'm sure we'll get into that, like stuff we learned, but is making sure that I'm pulling it out of them to the best I can, right? Because sometimes like I see a light bulb go off with somebody, and I'm like, oh, I got lucky. I'm glad I asked it that way. I was just kind of shooting from the hip. Yeah. Maybe they wouldn't have thought to talk about that. So it's like trying to find better ways to not only like calm people down, get them in the rhythm, and then make them, I want them to feel like at the end, like, it's done? We're done? Like, oh my gosh, I got to talk for hours. Like we were in such a groove, right?
I would say that's been the majority opinion of everybody who's come to the studio with us. Zoom folks might have been like,
well, especially here.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
I think that part of it, that engaging folks, make sure they're having a good time, and see the light bulb go off. And I will say this, 31 episodes in, we had 30 pretty good guests. Like we did not have any misses in those. We had great folks on and interesting folks from different walks and stuff. But finding a spot and getting them there. And it sounds remedial, but I stuck with the 5 W's who, what, when, where, and why. Yeah. Let me ask those questions, and I would do it in order. But then also, I think you're right. Like finding something that someone else finds interesting in a short conversation like this, and then letting them expand on that is the coolest part. Yeah. You know?
I mean, look, it's like and we're always like, okay, well, because there's some people, right? And we like the second someone leaves, and this is for a lot of people, if not most, if not all, I don't know. Like, I don't really think about it like that, but more and more, we're like, especially in studio here, we're both looking at each other, and what I say to you, I'm like, I got to talk to that person for a lot longer. Yeah. And you know, you're trying to be mindful of people's time. You're trying to be very mindful of the fact that like, who are we? Yeah. Like, do we have the right to talk for 2 or 3 hours? Like, I'm not Joe Rogan. Yeah. Like, you know, like who's going to listen to this for 2 or 3 hours? But sometimes it's like, you just want to keep going, but you're like, we should probably cut this off.
Yeah. I mean, I think that too is a testament to, one, the conversation, but two, if the people are really enjoying themselves, I've never seen anybody check their watch.
Yeah, me either.
You know, like, hey, we got to go. And that's not just because they're being nice. Like you said earlier, we turn the lights back on and they stand up and they're like, that was great. Yeah. I had a good time. And I'm not trying to put words in anybody's mouth who's been a guest on here, but that's been the response from everybody so far.
Yeah, it's cool. And well, it's like we collectively are like, hey, we have a lot of goals with the podcast, but really at the end of the day, like, what do we really care about? We talk about it all the time. It's like, we want to have fun. Yeah. We want to have interesting conversations with interesting people from all different walks of life who do all different types of things. And we're pretty lucky because we get to sit here, meet these people. Yeah. Like, it's like almost like you form like a friendship. Yeah. Like pretty quickly.
Very much so.
And what's the worst thing that happens? Like, you get to learn from somebody.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
it's pretty fun. It's cool.
So to that end then, not to flip this on you, what was your grand plan, or what is your grand plan for this firm and where you want to go with the podcast? And I don't want you to give anything away.
Yeah, but that's okay. I'm pretty much an open book.
I'm interested because I know you have a bunch of different directions that you go with your business and with, you know, the company and your ideas and marketing, and, you know, got some exciting stuff coming up in the next episode about that. But everything that you're trying to do here, that this is a part of, how do you see that world playing out for the firm and for what's going on?
Yeah. So high level, you know, we want to change the way people think about personal injury lawyers. Yeah. We're collectively as a team here very, very proud of what we do for people. We're proud of the winning culture, the collaborative, supportive culture that we have here. We're proud of how hard we work to raise the bar and to seek out perfection, knowing it's unachievable, but to quote unquote like settle for excellence every day. And I think that, you know, when we started the firm, like I always was like in my head, like I don't want to do this the way everybody else has done it, because it just doesn't seem that fun to me. Like to do everything the way everyone else has done it, even if it works. And I'm not saying like we don't do things that other people before us have done or currently do because they work, they're tried and true. Like, yeah, of course we do that, whether it's in operations or marketing or whatever.
Some things actually just need to work the way they work.
Yeah, it just works, right? But we want to take a different path.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's like when it comes to something like this, it's like, okay, you got to take a step back and say, okay, like, why do I do what I do? Why do I think like I personally or us collectively as a firm have had some success to this date? And I believe a lot of it is like thinking outside the box.
Sure.
It's being highly, highly, highly curious. And I think it's really, I believe the key is being curious and learning from people who do things outside of like your universe, right? Don't get me wrong. Like, do we like learn from the best trial lawyers and the best law firm owners in the country? Of course we do. Yeah. But I think what's different about us is we all have our, you know, we all just want to learn all the time. And we agree that whether it's learning from a chef or a local business owner or a professional athlete or a documentary filmmaker, whatever it is, there's common threads that make people successful, but then they all have their own kind of like angle, which is kind of throwback to why we named it this, but partially.
There's a call out.
And, you know, I just think that at the very least in doing the podcast, the goal is to show people like, hey, we're probably not what you think we are. And I get that. Like, you see billboards, you see certain types of commercials and jingles, and I get it. You have a stereotype, and stereotypes exist for a reason. But whether it's one episode at a time, one client at a time, one hire at a time, we want to really shatter that perception. And it takes a long time. But the podcast is like, look, at the very basic level, it's like I want to show people, if you're willing to tune in and give us 45 minutes or just listen to part of an episode, you're going to learn something. And it might even be more relatable because you know this person like lives down the street from you or goes to the same restaurants or the same shops that you do or loves the Bills or whatever it is. Like, you have that common thread. And to be like, okay, like all these people are different. All these people are interesting and I can learn from them. Because like, you know, they're like, you go back and review these episodes, like they're from all different walks of life. And a lot of them are saying very similar things. About what drives them or why they believe they've had some success or like what their habits are, that kind of thing. And obviously building on top of that, like, I mean, that's it at its core. You know, we want to show people, like, I think that like, you don't need to beat people over the head all the time with what you do, like injured, car accident, calls. Like, like, do we want to be there? Do we want to be the firm that has the honor of being selected when something terrible happens to you so we could show you what you deserve? Hell yeah, we do. Like, we're super proud of that. But I believe that if you show people like that you're a genuine person or you're authentic and you're providing value,
Sure.
hopefully.
Yeah.
And maybe over time they're like, wow, they're pretty good at this thing too that has nothing to do with their core business.
Yeah.
That maybe over time they're like, oh, well, they seem trustworthy. They seem like they actually care.
Yeah.
So I would hope that, you know, is a common thread over here in like their core business.
Yeah.
So there's, you know, and like, there's a lot of, again, like, I don't mean to like be like, there's a lot of angles to it, but I think really at the end of the day, it's like I'll put it this way, like no one has ever called our firm and said, and when we asked, like, how did you find us? Like, oh, I listened to John's podcast.
Right.
No one's ever said that.
Right.
If
But
that happens someday, that would be great.
Yeah.
Like, but
Yeah.
I don't really care. Like, if
Yeah.
that doesn't happen,
Yeah.
you know, there's a lot of other things we can get from this. I mean, even too, like, I gotta tell you, like, this is something that people probably don't think about. I think it's also a way to, as we have grown and everyone's busy and I'm busy and we're all busy doing our things at the firm, is for those of my teammates that listen to get maybe more insight into me.
That's cool.
And to like, and I could tell them stories and I could even communicate with them through it.
Yeah.
Like,
that's cool.
and maybe they don't realize that, but sometimes I am. Like,
Yeah.
I'm like talking to them.
Yeah.
Because I want them to hear what I'm thinking or what I'm going through at that time. And it makes sense because of whoever the guest is. So,
And if you people want a job here, you should listen to the first 30 episodes. And you'll
yeah,
get a
that
good
will give you a
picture.
huge insight into what I care about and what I
Right.
don't like.
Right. Fair.
It's a good point, right? But yeah, I think like that's a long-winded answer, but I think that's why we didn't want to make it about the law. It's like, who's going
Yeah.
to listen to that? We want to bring
Yeah.
this to people and hopefully offer value to a lot of different people.
Yeah. Well, I think that's in the diversity of our guests, from hockey coaches to basketball coaches to chefs to
Yeah.
business owners. Like, I also think that there's a cool cross connect. Like,
Yeah.
these people are accessible. They're in our city.
Yeah.
If I want to go to Moriarty Meats and meet Tom and Caitlin, I can do that.
Yeah.
And I just heard from them what it was like to start their business, and maybe that gets them some business. And
Yeah.
that, I think those connects in Buffalo, you know, where we started was talking about how great Buffalo is. Like, that for me is the part that, like, hey, if that gets you business, if somebody wants to get a job at that place and they listen to that and they talk to that person, like, that's cool.
Well, I mean, dude, like we've had some amazing people on.
Pretty much.
Like sometimes I think you know, you and I we just do our thing.
Right.
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 And we're like, we need to be professional. We need to give them a great experience. We need them to be comfortable. But it's like sometimes when you think about some of the people that have like either logged in to do this or walked through that door now, you're like,
Yeah. Yeah.
whoa.
Yeah.
Okay. Like,
Some of them we needed a bigger door.
yeah.
You know,
Shout out Spencer Brown.
Spencer Brown.
And Tage Thompson.
And Tage
I mean,
Thompson.
Bandits, like Josh and Dane are pretty big dudes too, but like Spencer Brown is like, he fills the door.
Yeah. We were going to have to get some construction done there.
Yeah.
But
It's crazy. And like, I think the craziest part about it is, if you think about it, all these people came on through connections.
sure.
And that's the wildest part, because imagine we're like in New York City and you're trying to get the best butcher in New York. You're trying to get the best celebrity chef in New York. You're trying to get the best restaurateur, like the best lawyer at this, the top star, literal international superstar athlete at this. Good luck.
Yeah.
Like here, it's like that. I think who was just talking about that? One of the guys was talking about it recently. We had on was like the degrees of separation.
Oh, yeah.
Where it's usually 6.
He said it was Al. He said there was like 2, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes like 1.5.
That's
And it's like you
Buffalo,
ask
right?
one person.
Yeah.
And also too, it's crazy too. Like some of the people we've had on, I don't want to get into details, but like we've, through our community efforts at the firm, you meet certain people and you realize they know somebody and you don't, it's like before the ask is even out of your mouth, they're like, oh yeah, 100%.
Sure.
I'm going to call this guy right
Yeah.
now. And next thing you know, they're sitting down talking to you.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah. That's, you know, I mean, that kind of just, you know, like Tom and Kluge Barnett, Taylor's, to date, our best listened to episode.
Yeah, which is crazy.
They are well loved far and near.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, and everybody, I'm kind of just going through the list, like, you know, just like you said, from personal training professionals to HR professionals to lawyer, our first lawyer.
One practicing lawyer.
Practicing lawyer.
Yeah.
We fulfilled our 1 year quota for lawyers on
yeah.
this show. But yeah, I mean, all of our guests, and I've watched every episode multiple times, and so they all start to blend together.
Yeah.
But it's because the ideas, like you said, are similar.
Yeah.
You know, and I took some notes about like what kind of the top topics were.
Yeah.
Leadership, being coachable, persistence, identity and purpose, respect and relationships was a huge one, and like emotional intelligence and strategy.
Yeah.
All things like if that's what a coach does, that's what a business owner does. And all these things seem to have similar places. So,
well, yeah, I mean, as a business owner, you are a coach.
Pretty much.
Right.
And to the best of your ability.
As a coach, you're kind of like running a business. Like, it's like,
yeah,
there's so many common threads. I was thinking about this. Like, I don't think I have a favorite. There's some people where like I kind of like stand out in my mind for different reasons.
Yeah.
But I more so think about it as like what were like the lessons learned from that person.
Yeah.
But like you said, I feel like everything you just said, like you could find those elements in almost every conversation we've had.
Yeah.
And these are people that are in all different areas, all different stages of whatever they're doing. Also people are just real. I think people have a lot of humility.
Very much so.
Like, you know, a lot of like people are really willing to talk about, if anything, they get the most reflective talking about failures.
Especially the coaches.
Oh yeah.
That was just listening to Trevor Large and Coach Smith.
Yeah.
Saying the same things pretty much. And the guys with the most humility are running the entire show.
Yeah.
And that was like, and they're still learning from the guys that they work with.
Yeah.
Other coaches, players, things like that. And that's, you know, that alone, as it reflects the business, like it's your strategy here.
Yeah.
That's my experience of what you guys do here.
Yeah.
So it's, and like, there's characters in here. I'm just looking at the list. I'm going through. I'm laughing because, you know, some of them had some things. Like we also had the bloopers, you know, somebody's kid comes in or the phone rings during the call or something like that. So, but no, great. It's really
easier to control the environment now.
Thank goodness.
We would tell people like, hey, do us a favor. Like, just make sure, you know, this is off or that's off. And then like 5 minutes in, ring, 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 ring. Some kids like screaming in the background and you're doing your best to like buffer it out.
Employees coming through the door asking questions about the business.
Yeah. Or like super long downloading times when the thing is done, when we're like virtually like, hey, really sorry. You're going to just like walk away from your computer. It's going to take like 2 hours before it's done. But if you close out, we're going to lose the whole episode.
So leave your camera on and don't forget we're here.
Yeah.
Please.
We're still here. We can hear everything.
Still here.
Yeah.
It's, but no, just the three women from Rev.
Yeah, they were awesome.
They were fantastic.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like shout out to everybody that's done the podcast.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. You know, we were like, you know, we got to give a lot of credit to them because they're coming on and there wasn't much, especially early on, not much of a body of work to look at.
No.
And it was like, okay, I hope this guy doesn't like screw me over or say something crazy.
Trust us.
And they just trusted us. And now it's kind of funny, no names mentioned, but for the first time ever, never thought about this. And I'm going to get this guy because he just doesn't realize how interesting he is. He's extremely interesting. People will love this guy. The comment was, I made the mistake of looking at the guests you've already had on, and I like just don't understand why you would want me to be on there. I'm nervous about coming on. It's like, okay, fair.
Yeah.
We have had some heavy hitters on.
Sure.
But no, you're super interesting. We wouldn't ask you if you weren't.
Yeah. Everybody, I think and this is no, you know, we're not beating our chest, but everybody we ask is a heavy hitter, regardless of what they're doing.
Yeah.
Like, and which is cool. So I think now at this point, it's like, okay, we're enough episodes in, like people actually, all right, they like this, you know, and they think this is something prestigious and cool to be with. And but we're just getting started.
Yeah, for sure. It's like, like I think especially when people see pro athletes, they're like, oh my God. Like, you know what I mean? Like, what am I going to talk about?
And shout out to those guys. They were great. Like Spencer's personality to me, just not a football player, not looking through his face cage. Like,
dude, the best part about that was, okay, so for those people who don't know, first off, great episode. If you want, check it out. So Okay, so we get hooked up with him. We're like, oh my gosh, he's actually going to do this and come on.
Yeah.
And in our heads, we're like, okay, we need to make sure that we don't keep him too long, that we like blah, 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 blah. We don't want to violate any NFL rules, all this kind of stuff.
Right.
And we didn't have, this studio was not built out yet.
Right.
But we're like, there's no chance we're doing this virtually.
No.
So to your credit, you jump in, you get people involved. We set up like a studio in the conference room upstairs.
Yeah.
So I'll never forget. So we're thinking he's going to show up with like an agent and like a team, something like that. And we're waiting downstairs for him to come. Yeah. And all of a sudden, so like I'm looking at you, you're looking past me to like the glass door, and I can see your eyes just go like that. And here is this massive human being, filling the entire door. Yeah. We open the door. He's like, "Hey guys, what's up? I'm Spencer." And you're like, "Yeah, I know." Like, but he's just so from the second, so chill, so down to earth, like so warm, like welcoming
from the get.
And you just knew, okay, this is gonna be fun.
Yeah. He may not be from Buffalo, but he embodies everything.
He's everything Buffalo. He's absolutely the perfect Buffalo guy.
Yeah. And then just like told us the story of being an Iowa farm boy and how that was. And that was cool, man. It was very, and his dad's work ethic and how that comes through him to his work ethic with the team. Like all that. Like, so those kind of things, again, my job got cool again, right? It's like I'm getting to be in the room with people who I would never get a chance to talk to. So,
and then it's like, the Bandits guys were amazing.
They were great.
I mean, so cool, like so open.
Yeah.
Again, they just show up. Mm-hmm. Like, hey, what's up, guys? Like, and then Tage, and the funny thing about Tage, and he was great. Like this is kind of funny. This is a blooper. So we sit down. So that was the first one we filmed down here.
Yeah.
And you're sitting over there, and me and Tage start going. And all of a sudden, I see you, like out of the corner of my eye, being like, oh, no. And you stand up, and basically, something happened with the tech. Like, it wasn't rolling.
Yeah, I didn't roll it. Rookie.
Like, whatever.
Rookie. First step.
But Tage was, like, laughing. Yeah. And that's why if you watch the start of the episode, we're like, all right, Tage Thompson, round 2. And he's, like, laughing.
Yes. Cat's out of the bag now. But thank you, fellas, for rolling with that.
Yeah. That was, like, whatever.
Yeah.
That's showbiz, baby.
That's, right? First day in the new studio. Triple checked everything, of course. And then
now you got a checklist taped to your desk over there.
Yeah, it's sort of rudimentary, but I forget. One of the guests said he likes or somebody said they like to have a list, something to check off, and so do I. I forgot them. I had lost practice a little bit. But,
whatever. It all worked out. I think that's the best part about it is you just go with the flow.
And I'll never ever do it again. Great lesson.
Yeah,
first episode. It'll never. I'll never not roll
whatever.
Out
Shit happens.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
But he was great. Yeah, he was. And funny, and like, so yeah, I think it's talking to these folks, and something else we discussed a little bit, I think is just being hyper local, being all about Buffalo and Western New York, and that this place is the place we want to promote.
Is there anybody who like, and for the record, we did not talk about any of this.
We did not.
Like, but what we're going to talk about.
I can see the sparks going in his head. I'm wondering what he's going to ask.
Who do you think like surprised you the most? Like, and that could be like in any way.
My wife.
Yeah, that was.
And that's probably, everybody's like, oh, that's the easy out answer. No, she's not media trained. She just knows how to talk to people, and she's really good at this stuff. She did a radio interview like a day before, just cold.
Yeah.
And just how composed and thoughtful she was. Not that she's not that, but just
that was just like an eye-to-eye conversation.
She was our first live actual person for you to talk to.
You're right.
Spencer was in his own room, but she was the first one where we'd moved over to
that's right.
It's right before the studio got built. We got a little delay. But and quite frankly, not to go back to Spencer, like I was just so impressed just with the person he was and how nice he was and down to earth he was and thoughtful he was.
Yeah.
Although I will say the Moriartys at the very beginning, that was like, was such a cool conversation. I'm like, that is a thing that I would never think of doing nor how hard it is to get into it.
Yep.
Nor you have to go to another country and there's only X number of schools left that can teach you this. And
Yep.
that's where you want to learn, and how hard it is to keep staff and, like all of those, because you can't just hire someone to render a half an animal.
Nope.
You have to train that.
Yep.
You have to train them how to sharpen a knife. Like all of that.
And then if they just leave, it's like, oh, what the hell? Yeah.
And yeah. They were talking about not being able to go on a vacation because they didn't have the cover, like for.
Dude, they live upstairs.
Yeah.
Like their kid, like it's actually a really pretty amazing story.
Yeah.
Like,
and then on top of that, it is a curated, cool, really interesting place to go buy meat and talk to, and then
that place is
have a
awesome.
burger.
Yeah.
If you, by the way, you want to try some of this? Come here. It's next door.
like that's a place where Moriarty meets, where like, it almost feels like you're in like, in the best way possible. Like you're in like the 1950s.
Yeah.
Like, and you go in like, they know who you are. If
Yep.
they don't, they act like they know who you are. They make you feel special.
Yep.
You can really trust whether they're telling you something or they're putting something out there that it's going to be the best.
Yeah.
They don't even need to say it. Like it's going to be. You can actually trust them. And you can tell like they pour their heart and soul into everything they do.
Yeah.
And that's kind of rare in this day and age.
And it's here.
Yeah.
It's here. It's right here in Buffalo.
Yeah. That is like the perfect example of like world class.
Yeah. Absolutely.
That you could get anywhere.
Yeah.
Or not that you couldn't get anywhere, that like you would maybe typically expect to only get from like a New York, a Chicago, like something like that.
At worst, that's a Jersey suburb. That's as far as it'll get from the city, Like,
yeah.
So, but yeah, that's what I would expect to walk into in New York City. Like, oh, this has been here for 100 years.
You know who was, and this is like it was almost like cheating a little bit because I know him so well, but Dave Horish from Oxford Pennant was like maybe the most, dare I say, raw, like honest.
Yep.
Like we'll just, and to his credit,
that was fun.
There's like no limit. Like he'll talk about anything, which is really cool, which is refreshing.
And you guys just kind of volleyed back and forth for an hour. It was cool. Like I'm like, oh, this is how this flow. Like we need to get Dave back in here.
Yeah.
So right. So
yeah, for sure.
But yeah, that's. I think I'm trying to remember. Let me see if I wrote it. I think Dave was an early on, like a number 6 or 7.
He was really
like
early on.
That was kind of where I was like, okay, to that point, you started to get out of your head and started having conversations. Yeah. And you know him so well, but okay, you had a shortcut. You got there a little faster.
Yeah.
But it was cool, man. He was fun. I also really like Chef Redbeard. Like he was great recently, and like just a genuine nice guy who likes to make food for people. And have a fun atmosphere. Like, that's cool.
He's a big dude, by the way.
Yeah.
he could be an NFL player.
We have a lot of big guys in here.
I know. I'm sitting here and I look like a child next to like a lot of these guys.
I'm glad there's a height adjustment on
That's
these
why
seats.
I sit so high.
I didn't think someone would be able to get him underneath it, but this is, and I think I'm trying to go through. We have some good guests lined up for January. Can't talk about
we can't
them
talk.
Yet, but
we got a lot of cool people. We have a lot of fun plans with this.
We do. I think it's, again, 8 months from the first day I sat in the office next to you. I'm like, hey, is this Zoom working? Like, and that was pretty fast to get it all up. And we've 31 episodes for 31 weeks. We've put this thing out.
Yeah, it's funny. It's like it goes by fast, but also we talk about this all the time. It like almost seems like we've been doing it longer.
Feels like it. Feels like, not in a bad way.
No, not in a bad way at all.
No,
like, it's also like people don't see behind the scenes. I mean, especially how much effort you have to put into it, whether it's like, and there's a lot that goes into it, whether it's like, okay, how do we select the guests? And we have like a process for how we're trying to figure these people out. And then the reach out, and then the booking, and then the logistics to make sure they get here on time and they understand what's going on. And then the filming, and then your back end production, and then the handoff to the marketing people, and then the handoff to these people, and and then making sure everyone's doing what they're supposed to be doing. And there's a lot to it. And then and then you're just, as these are going, we're just filming more.
Yeah.
Because I remember when we started, I'm sure you'll remember, we're like, we'll do 2 a month. And then immediately I was like, no, we're doing 1 a week. And you're like, okay.
Oh, those were the young and dumb days when we were 2 a week. And I was like, yeah, sure.
We never did it 2 a week though.
No.
Never. Because we thought, okay, we're going to start off we'll just blast it to get it going. But like, well, we just filmed like 6.
Yeah.
And we're running them. We're just going to keep going.
Apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was not in the original plan, but I think that was probably the best thing that we did because it gave us a cadence.
And the momentum.
Yep.
We're pretty like, you know, it's hard. We tried at first to be like, especially because when we were like, for those people who don't know, like we shoot this in the first floor of our office at 192 Seneca Street. It actually is an old, not that old, but it was previously, before we entered in here, a New York State regulated medical marijuana dispensary vault.
So this didn't leave any behind.
No, sadly, we looked everywhere.
The room was
some
bare.
Rolling papers, but that's about it.
That was it.
There's nothing. So that's where we're at, and it like kind of was just like, wow, that's perfect for exactly what we need it for. Yeah. But wait, where was I going with this? What were we talking about?
The space with on Zoom.
What was I going to talk about? So we would try to be regimented and be like, okay, we block off Wednesdays.
Yeah.
And then just like, it was, we kind of were doing that because we were off site.
Sure.
But now it's like, I can just walk downstairs.
Yeah.
You're down here, the lights are on, and we're like, all right, let's go.
Yeah.
So we do, I mean, like, we have to film a lot to stay on top of it, stay out in front of it.
Yeah.
And then remember when we first realized, this is going to make us sound so stupid, when we realized that some months have 5 Wednesdays.
Oh, those are tough months. Those are tough months.
You're like, oh, hey, by the way, did you realize that this month has 5 Wednesdays? I'm like, did not.
No.
I guess we need to do one immediately.
Yeah, those will be in red on the calendar next year.
Yeah,
We're gonna look at all those 5 weeks.
Yeah. Because we're trying to like stay like at least 4 to 6 weeks ahead of it.
Yeah.
The best you can. Sometimes things happen and someone cancels.
I've tried to get you to repeat 1 or 2 and you just won't.
Yeah, I will now. Now that we have enough. Oh, you mean like replay an old one?
Right.
Yeah, I'm not about that yet. Yeah, it's a cop out.
Well, it is a cop out. You're right. You keep me honest.
You know anything?
Yes. Sure.
There are some people who we definitely will have on as repeats.
Yeah. Well, I think it'd be of the first. Let's call it. There's maybe 25 that we didn't get in here.
Yeah.
Right. So I think any of those folks are fair game.
And I'm not going to name any names, but I am going to talk about it. We got stood up once.
Yeah. Yeah, we did. It was all right. I mean, look, that harkens back to my television days. People blew us off all the time. You think, oh, they'd want to be on TV. No, absolutely opposite. People did not want to be on TV, and you had to coerce them.
Yeah. The worst part about it was this person, like, this is not that long ago, verified multiple ways that they would be on the next day.
Yeah.
And we were going to showcase something that they're doing.
Yeah.
And then it was just never showed up and never mentioned it.
We're only bitter for the no call, no show.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
If you would have called, it would have been fine.
Yeah,
but,
then it's like, whatever, okay, fine.
Now I know what everybody on Bumble and Hinge and stuff feel like. We got ghosted.
We got ghosted.
We did get ghosted.
We did, totally.
Yeah, so,
but it's like you're gonna run into this person at some point and be like, I don't care. I won't say a word, but it's like you gotta internalize that.
You want to be on again?
Yeah.
Maybe not.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, whatever.
But no, that's everybody, and that to what we were saying earlier. I think everybody has been genuine, and even if scared, have been genuine and honest in wanting to be here and came and had a good time, and then
and understandably so. You could tell there were some people who, and I get it, like they definitely wanted to be on.
Mm-hmm.
They loved the idea of it.
Yeah.
They may have rescheduled a couple times.
Sure.
They did come on.
Yeah.
They were nervous at first.
Yeah.
And then they were like, oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's like, we want people to realize, like, we're not trying to make anybody look bad.
No.
Like, that's not our goal at all. Like, honestly, I think we could both agree, and we've talked about it, like, there's been a couple times where someone has said something where we're like, if they were to re-listen to that, and this is not like an editing thing. This is like almost like a legal thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like we're gonna just cut that part out.
Sure.
And not like we're not editing. Like now, I mean, we don't like edit them at all. Like they just run. Just once in a while, we're like, let's protect this person.
Sure.
You probably don't need that in there. It wasn't material to any message they were delivering. Well, and you probably just don't need that name out there or whatever it was.
Testament to you, they forgot all this stuff was here.
Mm.
Like.
I know sometimes I'm like, wow, you really mean to say that?
And in any time, like it's not practice. You don't talk in front of cameras. You don't have a microphone on. And I think people are more aware of it because everybody's got a cell phone camera now.
Yeah.
But sometimes, I mean, look, I'm pretty sure we haven't said anything bad yet, right? So
I'm pretty careful. I'm pretty well, I'll say this. I'm like careful in the sense of like, I'm not here to like offend anybody or like hurt anybody's feelings, but I don't know. I feel like I'm pretty much exactly how I am off the camera.
Yeah. Yeah. I could argue that's true, man.
Like, I mean, obviously you need to be like a little careful, but I don't know, like for the most part, the same.
I mean, you could curse more if you wanted to.
I know I do swear more than I do on here. I try to like just in general work on that.
I did that in our first test. I didn't know I could say bitch, and I spelled it out. And you're like, we can curse on this.
Yeah, it's
this
okay.
Podcast.
It's fine.
It's okay.
We've even had people ask, "Am I allowed to swear in here?" I'm like, "Do whatever you want."
Yeah.
So we're still going, right?
Yeah, still rolling.
Yeah, I admittedly had to take a bathroom break because I didn't want to stop this. And then I was showing Brad. I got a text from my wife, so my daughter got her ears pierced. What is she? No, she'll be 4 months old this month. I guess there's a place in Rochester in the Eastview Mall where nurses do it for kids.
Jeez.
What a great business idea.
Yeah, that's
I'm
neat.
serious. Like, what a great idea. Like,
that's
probably no different
Yeah.
from a nurse doing it or a person who's just done it for a long time. But the fact that it's a nurse, it makes you think of like care and medical and blah, 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 blah. Yeah, I'd rather have that.
Yeah, for sure.
Smart.
Yeah.
See, those are business ideas where I'm like, you're smarter than I am. Like, yeah.
Those would be the ones that private equity coming in by, right?
Dude, I don't even want to talk about private equity. That's a whole nother thing. Like talk about something influencing our industry, but whatever. So, okay. What do you want to talk about?
Well, I don't know, man. Private equity was a good tangent.
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
No, I think this has been it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, I agree.
It's just been a lot of fun.
Yep.
Like, which if you are blessed enough to have a job where you enjoy what you do, then do all that.
Yeah, I think that's actually a great point. And that actually is also a common theme from all the entrepreneurs we've had on.
Yeah.
Obviously, you can say that about the pro athletes too, but for the people who have taken massive risk, and I think that it can't be understated. I'm not just saying this for myself. There's an extreme amount of risk in starting your own business, like more than probably most business owners ever let on, or if you don't hear these stories about what it took until much longer down the road.
Yeah.
But it's the passion that fuels it. Like if you're doing it because like you're like, I just want to get rich or make money, you're in deep shit.
Yeah.
Like you won't because like when you're not making money for maybe a very long time or worse, in typical losing tons of money for a long period of time.
Yeah.
What's going to drive you?
Yeah.
What's going to get you, what's going to force you not to quit?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, and it's the passion or the belief in what you're doing. I mean, I was, I'm not going to name any names, but I was talking to somebody yesterday. Do I even want to tell this story? Yeah, I'll tell because he's going to come on the podcast. He's amazing. I'll put it this way. Had the pleasure of spending about a couple hours with this gentleman yesterday along with somebody else. And he's very, 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 very close to Tom Golisano. Mm-hmm. Okay. Mm-hmm. The billionaire from Rochester.
Yeah.
Former Sabres owner, Paychex founder. and I guess Tom's pretty open about, and I did some research. He talks about it where like, you know, the way he started Paychex was he was working for somebody else.
Yeah.
And he saw that the technology that was being used, he felt could be used for, say, smaller businesses.
Sure.
And they were just weren't about that. That wasn't like their target. And he said, hey, do you mind if I take this technology and start my own business and do this? And like, yeah, whatever, dude, go for it.
Yeah.
Which is nuts.
Yeah.
Started
market.
Paychex.
Yeah.
And in his head, he thought he'd have an X amount of clients, you know, within a short period of time. It took many, many years. He maxed out every credit card. He borrowed as much money as he possibly could.
Yeah.
And now he's a billionaire, and he's extremely philanthropic. And what he's doing here with the Golisano Institute, which he already does in Rochester to train entrepreneurs, is amazing. But I think the point is like, it's the passion, the belief in what you're doing, because most entrepreneurs, that's in some variation is the story.
Yeah.
We bet on ourselves.
Yeah.
We rode the lightning.
Yeah.
It was scary, it's always scary, but it was really scary. And you left like a comfortable thing, whatever it was.
Yeah.
And you got really frustrated in that comfortable thing. And you said, F it, I'm going. And then you get into it and you're like,
what did I do?
And I think that's the difference. When you're in it, and it's really, really, really hard, like way harder than you ever could have imagined. Yeah. But you don't second guess it.
Sure.
Like there's no second guessing. Like at all, right?
Sure.
And then you keep going. That's the difference when you can tell someone's passionate. And that's why now, like, talk about like looking at the world through a different lens.
Yeah.
Dude, like now, if I hear somebody and they're like mocking like a business owner for struggling, or for they have this idea and they're going for it, or following their dream, or sadly they go bankrupt, I get like pissed.
Yeah.
I get like outwardly defensive about it.
Yeah. It's
like, because it's always coming from somebody who just doesn't understand, like hasn't been through that before. Yeah. And I feel like an obligation to defend that person and provide some like clarity.
Fair.
You know what I mean?
And you have to have a maniacal belief in yourself at some point.
Yeah.
Whether that's disillusioned at sometimes or
it
not.
Is.
And from the outside looking in, probably a lot more than you would think.
Oh, yeah.
Because talk about risk. You're not at risk unless you're a business owner. And I think a lot of people do this, you know, not as well as they think they do. And it's hard to execute when you're trying to be, but to risk leveraging all your credit cards, doing it like people talk about you in your second 5 years or your second 15 years when it's like, well, they're risking all this money to do this. Don't tell me about risk. I'm not going to eat this month because I started this business.
Yeah.
And then when you graduate to the level of, I can pay myself.
Yeah.
There's another teeth kick right there, because now you got to take care of other people's lives. You got you're manager, you're responsible for other people, and that you don't take that lightly.
Yeah, you know? I mean, like to your first point, it's like, you know, I think the way I talk about it is like, because it's real with us. It was like, okay, we both had really good jobs, worked for a great firm. They were really generous with us. Mm-hmm. I mean, we worked really hard, but they were really generous. Yeah. It's one of the biggest lessons we learned from them.
Sure.
And maybe some people are like, oh, wow, okay, wow, cool. Like a lawyer made money and then like started their own law firm, and, you know, what's the worst that could have happened? You go work for somebody else. Well, I mean, there's a lot more to it. You know, we would have lost everything. I mean, I would have if it didn't work. Right. If it doesn't work, I lose everything. And yeah, I guess you could go work for somebody else, but then you just set yourself back however many years.
And How could you live with yourself, right?
Nah, like, and like, you don't want to live with that, you know, like it's, whatever. Like, I mean, it's tough. I mean, but that's the thing. Like, you just never second guess it. You're like, it's going to work. It's going to work. It's going to work. It's working. It's working. It's working. Even when you're like, oh my God. But that's why you have to have amazing people that work with you.
You do. And that's knowing the right people to choose, you know, and everybody's great. Okay. They're all nice here in Buffalo, but working with people is important, and that chemistry is important, and how you communicate is important.
Yeah.
And I think that's that part. Like, there's an art to building a team like that. That's also a skill.
Yeah.
You know?
And you're going to make a lot of mistakes along the way. But then when you start seeing it come together, I mean, that's the one thing I talk about a lot. I've talked about a lot recently is like when we started the firm, like, you believe, and it seems simple, but like your differentiator, your unique value proposition is your people.
Yeah.
And there's a lot to that. It's not just like, oh, we have beanbag chairs and free lunches at times. It's like, it's a winning culture. It's a hard culture, but it's like a collaborative, a supportive culture. Like, we are in this thing together. But then, and you want that. And when you see it start to really happen, it's beyond humbling. But even more so, it's really amazing when like you see people grow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because that individual growth that then contributes to the massive team growth is also the same thing that allows everybody, including me and Keith, to like really focus on the things that we find most enjoyable, that we get the most energy out of, and that also contribute the most to the success and the growth of the firm.
Yeah.
So it's like everybody wins.
Yeah.
But you mentioned like, you hire these great people and then you're paying them, and like, it's like, yeah. And like, we're happy to do it. I mean, we always are trying to find ways to do better by people,
sure.
And cause that's it. I mean, it's like, you just have to realize that you're nothing without these people. You could have the passion, you could have the belief, you could have the great idea, but if you don't have great people that buy in and support you and that are like bleed it with you, you're not going anywhere.
Yeah. And they see you doing right by them. Like,
you try,
there's a lot of places that are just, you just hear the conversations of the how is it here, what it's like.
Yeah.
And that's the part that you have to curate and make good and continue to support your people and, build on, hey, we got great people here. Let's start with that.
Yeah.
And then give them the opportunity to continue being great.
Yeah.
Like that's the cool thing.
Yeah. And you gotta find ways to be brutally honest with people in the hiring process about what it's like working for you. Yeah. And I think there's a lot to that we don't need to get into, but the thing I would say, just because I know we have like business owners and stuff who listen, like, so I think the biggest issue is trying to figure out, okay, if you truly are like a high performing culture that demands excellence, that demands results, that, demands winning along with all the other great things, right? People are going to be drawn to that. And what you got to be careful about is if people have never been in an environment like that, it doesn't mean like they can't thrive in it and that's not where they should be. A lot of people are going to convince themselves, they're not even lying to you when they're telling you that they want it. They mean it. Like, cause in their heart, they're like, I should want that. Like, that's what I should want to do. I should want to press myself. I should want to grow. I should want to be put in uncomfortable positions to get to like higher levels than I thought I could gotten to. But it's like, how do you figure out that they're willing to do what it takes to do that? And because it's one thing to talk about it conceptually, it's another thing to be inserted into that environment, and it becomes real like very fast.
Yeah.
And I've heard a lot of people talk about that who we've had on too.
Yeah.
Right. And it's like, we've had people on from all different sizes of companies or, working or playing on big sports teams with there's a lot of people involved in those things,
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, at every level, I think there's a lot of people that have an influence over the way things happen and trying to collect those people towards a uniform goal.
Yeah.
It's like directing a symphony.
Yeah.
It's like and not directing in the case of you're trying to direct these people's lives. It's like finding the holes that make them better.
Yeah.
And showing them where those are.
Yeah.
And saying, this is your opportunity and how can I help you get there?
Yeah. And you have to be willing to have tough conversations with people in a way that is conducive to their communication style.
Sure.
And the way you deliver that feedback to one person is going to be vastly different from this person, this person, this person. But that the different communication styles are what is like the beauty of an organization. Like you don't want a ton of like super direct people. No. That'd be a terrible place to work. like
everybody be telling everybody else
horrible,
what to do.
like, you know, but you have to realize that. Yeah. But then on the other side, it's as difficult as it is for somebody to learn how to have those conversations, it's equally as difficult for people to learn how to receive them.
Sure.
Right? Like you have to like, it stings.
Sure.
Because usually it's true.
Yeah.
Like, and you're like, and even if you don't want to believe it's true and you're like, oh, this person, oh my gosh.
That's why it stings.
You're in your car driving home and you're like, if it stings that bad, it's probably true.
If this person was just telling me this and I didn't do that, I wouldn't care.
Yeah.
But they're telling me that and I did do that, then I know I did, and that's why I'm angry about it.
Yeah.
You know?
But I think that's the key, right? It's crazy because like the concepts are so simple, but there's so much more involved in them. Like communication is massive.
And takes practice.
Oh yeah.
You know, and thoughtful practice.
And you continue to mess it up.
Yeah. I do every day.
Well, like I've been talking to people about it lately. It's like, oh my God, it's like, you have to have this difficult conversation. And either you put it off because you're just nervous about having it.
Yeah.
Or even if you're not nervous about having it, you're just thinking about it a million different ways in your head. What's the perfect way to do it? And it's no perfect way. You got to be thoughtful about it though, obviously. But you delay it, and the more you delay it, the worse it is.
It's bad.
Yeah. You're not doing anybody a favor.
Yourself, primarily.
Yeah.
Because you'll run through it and you'll grind on it and try and figure it out, and you don't.
Well, but how about even the person, right? Because like, think about how many times it's been said in the history of businesses where a boss someplace says something to somebody and they say, and oftentimes, sadly, it's because it's their last day at that business. Well, why didn't you tell me that?
Yeah.
If you would have told me that, I would have fixed it.
Yep.
And then you can't. The genie's out of the bottle. You're not putting that back in.
They're on their way out.
Like that's it. Yeah. And it's like, don't do that.
That's what you have, I guess if you flip it, right, it's your fault somehow, right? You didn't ask for communication. You didn't get what you needed to get. But in reality, it's like I think a lot of people, they don't know to take initiative when it's in their best interest and to tell a boss that, hey, this could be fixed. But
it's like it's a chicken and egg thing, right? Because from a business owner or leadership standpoint, you have to understand that when you if you truly have an environment of open and honest communication, of radical candor, of wanting people's feedback, all the things, transparency, whatever. It's one thing to tell them that. And you could mean it. Like, I'm serious. Like, it's going to sting when you tell me that we suck at something or I'm being a jerk, like, but I want to hear it. Yeah. But think about where they came from.
Sure.
Either they were told they could do that and they did it and it did not go well.
Right.
Or it was never even mentioned because it was just unspoken. Don't you even think about speaking up.
Yeah.
So you as like a leader or as a business owner or a manager, whatever it is, like you have to find ways to show them not only like, is it acceptable, that feedback, but it's like demanded. Like, and sometimes I think the easiest way to do it is just like kind of like criticize yourself in front of people.
Take responsibility for failure. Yeah. Like right away and up front. And that was my experience with my teams. Like, cause we had to come together for 12 weeks at a clip and work seamlessly because our hours are expensive every day.
Yeah.
And immediately, like if I make a mistake or a misjudgment or if I push something, not that I'm doing it all wrong all the time, but being like, hey, this is what I did wrong.
Yeah.
And this is, I'm reporting to you guys so you don't do it. Let's do the same. And the other part was getting the other person to look out for that person's back as much as possible.
Yeah.
Because when those people jived and like, oh, if there's a miss, I can get this.
Yeah.
And that kind of respect between the people that work together was like a key.
Oh yeah.
It was huge.
Yeah, it's huge. Like everyone's got a lead from whatever position they're in.
Everybody's as important as everybody else.
Dude,
and
100%. Like I want to give the keys to different departments and different functions to different people and let them run.
Yeah.
As long as I can trust you can prove to me that not only can you handle the current task at hand, but you, I know, are someone who is going to constantly seek out ways to get better at that thing.
Right. And that's
go forward.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm more thankful than I probably could ever tell you or show you. Because it allows me to focus on another area.
Yeah.
That I feel like maybe I've been neglecting or that I think I could bring some value to. And if I feel like I'm not bringing value to it,
right,
I don't want to be involved because then I'm just a pain in the ass. Like I'm just like, why is this guy here?
Because you want it better, right?
Yeah.
That's the only reason you stick around. Mm-hmm. So I think that part, like you, in my humble opinion, would probably end up being the person that started something. I'll just have a little.
Yeah.
My wife said she'd pick me up after this.
Perfect. Keith's going to drive me to our next thing that we have to go to.
Oh, geez. You have to go to a thing.
Yeah, it's okay.
No, I think like you to me would be a serial kind of builder. Like if you got out of this, you would get to something. Not that you're getting out of this, but if this got to a point where it was running like a factory but in your opinion, the way you wanted it and how it should be, then you'd be like, okay, that thing's good. I got the right people. And I can handle that. I want to go do something else. Right?
Yeah, I always think about it as like,
bad? Is that wrong?
No. But the way I look at it is, for me, I always tell people like if you help us make the pie big enough,
mm-hmm.
And that kind of like, if you think about it, and okay, so I'll back up. If the pie is big enough, you want to give pieces to the people that you can.
Sure.
Right. Because the pie would never be that big without them.
Yeah.
And if it gets to a point where it's like, hey man, like, we just only need you here and there.
Just swing by and have some lunch.
You know what I mean?
Right.
To me, it would be like, okay, well then I need to give more pieces of the pie away.
Yeah.
And I guess I'll go focus on this other thing. But I just have a hard time imagining that. I think I'm ride or die, like this firm.
Right.
But if I started something else, I don't think I would do it because it was a pure passion project.
Sure.
And I didn't care if I made any money off it.
Yeah.
And I was fortunate enough to be in that position to be able to do that. And like the number one thing I think about, I've told you this before, we're going to do this at some point. If I wasn't a lawyer, if I wasn't a law firm owner, if I could go back and I'm like, okay, this thing's, pretend like I said, I knew this thing wasn't going to work out.
Okay.
I would be a documentary filmmaker, a storyteller.
Okay.
I probably would have started off as like a war zone, like journalist, like something like that, telling stories, like high level, high impact stories. And so that's something that I really want to do. And sometimes people will be like, well, what do you want the documentary to be about? I'll be like, well, I don't know yet.
Those
like I think that's what I mean. That's like like if you're trying to like create the story or seek out the story, you're in danger of picking something that isn't really, is it even worth telling? Like I don't know. Yeah. I want to be in a position where I'm just doing my thing and the universe aligns or the planets align or whatever, and it's like, yo, there's this really insane story or this massive injustice.
Yeah.
And there needs to be a voice.
Yeah.
And this needs to be told. Someone's got to tell it. And I'm like, oh man.
Yeah.
Sweet. I can go out and get all the best people, put them together. And for me, I'm not going to know anything about how to do that.
Right.
But I just get to like ride along.
Right.
That's all I want.
Right.
I just want to ride along.
Sure.
Can I just like,
sure.
I'd be like the guy in like the motorcycle and like the sidecar.
Sidecar.
I'm like, yeah,
I'm
They're
here.
like, hey, we got to turn here. It's going to cost more money. I'm like, okay, like it's worth it, right? I trust you. Like that would be amazing, and be able to tell a story. And like, yeah, and if like it ends up being really popular or like highly viewed or however you define success, that's a cherry on top. What type of person do you think we haven't had on the podcast yet that we should?
Music.
Yep.
Yeah, music.
Do you mean like a musician?
Yes.
I have someone in mind.
Yes. We've skimmed
I want him to earn it.
We've skimmed on the outer edge of musician with Brenda, filming a conductor. But we have not got any music on the show. And
Glaring hole.
Yeah. So we need a musician.
I got someone. And interesting thing, I think like about music too, maybe this is just me, but it's like, obviously like love music, love live music, whether it's a big performance, when I say this, like a big act, but I really like going to like Nietzsche's and like watching like local artists. Like, I think it's great. Yeah. And seeing even like how the passion behind what they do, like it's so amazing. Like you got somebody who's so passionate about what they do, and they're sometimes playing in a room of a few hundred people, sometimes it's 10 people, right. And it doesn't matter.
Right.
Like they come off the stage just like glowing, like they love it. They had that like that fire in them, that high, right? And now even seeing like, and firsthand, this is a person I'm thinking about, like building, like trying to build a business off of it, and then not even, maybe, of course, everybody wants to be as big as they can get in what they do, but even just trying to like running their marketing business, like their operations, like their whole thing, like there's a lot more to it than just like getting up on stage and singing.
Totally different from up to 2010.
Yeah.
You didn't have to be a marketer to be a musician.
Yeah.
Now you do. Like you have to, as much as it's just, I'm just playing and I'm posting to Instagram or I'm doing, no, you're marketing, dude. Like you're adding that pressure on top of just being a really good musician and good singer.
Okay. So musician, anything else come top to mind? People we've around?
Done pretty good on athletes. Might like to have some athletes back if any of you ever listen to this.
We have a plan for that.
I'd really like to get into more people with kind of unique jobs of things that you don't think about.
Yeah, the guy, I always like, I look up at like the General Mills plant. I'm like, I want to know what's going on in there.
Who's the dude who cleans the window on the top floor?
Yeah.
I want to talk to
General Mills plant, kind of like, sometimes I get like a Willy Wonka vibe from it.
Yeah.
Oh, like the cereals, like, so like it hits you like in like your childhood years.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh man, like how do you guys do that?
Can we?
So, okay. Mid podcast promo. Here's the deal.
Midway, we're going to run out of media.
It's not midway, but like it's more like almost done podcast promo.
Perfect.
Ready? All right, look. We want to tell interesting stories. They don't, look, a lot of the people we shot are like, oh, we get it. Successful entrepreneurs and people that you know about. We are here to tell real life stories of real people doing interesting things. Okay? You don't have to own a business. You don't have to be a C-level exec. We want to talk to people who are doing interesting things and things that we overlook, things that are part of the fabric of our society, or things that are super important to allow people like us to like continue to live the way we do. Whether you're making cereal or you're plowing the streets of Buffalo, if you know somebody who you think would be interesting, hit us up in our DMs. Let us know. We want to talk to these people. They'll sit right here and we can have a great conversation and hopefully maybe shed light on things that we take for granted.
Look at that.
There you go.
That's the end of episode. That's like the closer promo.
Yeah, that's
how do you do that?
Any final thoughts?
This has been great, man. Thank you. This is like super fun.
Yeah,
like,
agreed.
We'll do this once a year because I'm a lightweight. But that was great.
Yeah, good times, man. And
thank you for the opportunity.
No, please. Thank
Very
you.
cool.
I mean,
Very
this
cool.
is a team effort, man.
Yeah,
But,
yeah. Thanks.
All right, man. Later.
See ya.
Cool.